All right, everyone, buckle up. We're diving into something big today, the kind of tech that's going to make you rethink what a game can really be.
Yeah, we're talking about pushing those boundaries.
We've all seen those trailers, right? Where the games look so real you could practically feel the raindrops.
Oh, absolutely. Those visuals are insane.
But here's the thing. It's not magic, it's Unreal Engine, and it's about to change how we experience gaming forever.
It really is.
Yeah.
This isn't just about better graphics. It's a whole different ballgame.
Uh-huh.
Unreal Engine is giving developers the tools to create these experiences that are practically blurring the lines between reality and the virtual world.
No kidding. And the games coming out, they are not messing around. We're talking Hellblade II, The Lords of the Fallen, Black Myth, Wukong.
Oh, yeah, those are going to be huge.
Each one of them is just pushing the boundaries in ways we haven't really seen before.
And they're all powered by Unreal Engine 5, which is a game changer.
Okay, so let's talk about some specifics. Hellblade 2, for example. The original Hellblade, it blew people away with its sound design and visuals to make you really feel Senua's mental state. Now imagine that level of detail, but like 10 times more intense, with environments that are hyper-realistic and those facial animations.
Oh, it's going to be incredible. Unreal Engine 5 is letting them really capture the emotion in a way we haven't seen before.
Seriously, if you thought Kratos had anger issues, wait until you see what they're doing with Senua's emotional intensity in Hellblade II.
And speaking of intensity, we got to talk about the Lords of the Fallen. They are taking that dark fantasy thing to like a whole new level.
Oh yeah, I've seen the trailers.
We're talking crazy armor details, environments that are sprawling and gothic,
Mm-hmm.
and the realism, it's like you can practically feel the grit.
It's giving me, like, get that torch out of my face, it's too realistic vibes, but, you know, in a good way.
Exactly.
But it's not just about making things look nice. When you have this level of detail, it changes everything about how you experience the game.
It really does. It's about that feeling of being right there in that world. It's about the atmosphere, the emotions, everything.
Okay, so we've established these games are visually stunning, but what is it about Unreal Engine that makes them possible?
So at the core of it all is this tech called nanite. And it's a real game changer. Imagine you're exploring this vast, super detailed environment.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
And every little detail, every brick, every blade of grass, it's all rendered in insane detail. No more blurry textures in the distance.
You're telling me I can finally say goodbye to those moments where, like, my character walks up to a wall and it suddenly turns into a high-res texture right in front of my eyes?
You got it. Nanite completely changes how developers can build these worlds because they don't have to compromise on the details to make sure it runs smoothly.
That's amazing. But it's not just about the objects, right? Lighting is a huge part of making those environments look real.
Absolutely, and that's where Lumen comes in.
Okay, so tell me about Lumen.
This is not your average lighting system. It's real-time global illumination. Basically, it mimics how light works in the real world.
So, like, if I'm exploring a dungeon in the Lords of the Fallen and my torch flickers,
Yeah.
the shadows and reflections will actually change just like they would in real life.
Exactly. And it's those subtle things. They might seem small, but they all add up to make the experience so much more believable.
Right. It's like stepping into a movie or something.
That's the goal. Lumen also means they can create these dynamic day and night cycles and weather effects and even the way light filters through trees and stuff. It's about creating a world you can get lost in.
It really is incredible when you think about it. Okay, but before we move on, I gotta ask. We've talked about how this tech affects environments and the overall feel of the game, but what about the characters? Like, that's a big part of why we play, right? To connect with those characters.
For sure, and this is where things get super interesting.
Oh, okay. I'm intrigued.
Unreal Engine 5 has this tool called MetaHuman Creator, and it is a game changer when it comes to designing those characters. Remember playing games where you're like, man, those character models look a little janky.
Ugh, yeah, those dead eyes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. Well, MetaHuman's going to change all that. We're talking about creating crazy, realistic digital humans, like lifelike skin, hair, and they move so naturally.
So we're finally entering that era where characters actually look and act like, you know, real people. No more creepy robot faces.
It's pretty amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
From a storytelling standpoint, it means more expressive characters. You can relate to them better. They can show a wider range of emotions. It just adds this whole other level of depth. But there's one more thing we got to talk about.
Oh, okay. Hit me with it. What else you got?
Okay, picture this. You're in this game world, right? And it's so massive, so expansive, that you can practically feel the horizon going on forever. And there's no loading screens breaking it up, no invisible walls or anything. It's just pure exploration.
Okay, yeah, I'm picturing it.
That's the power of world partition.
Oh.
Another groundbreaking feature they've added to Unreal Engine 5.
Wait, so those massive open world games that we all love, those games that make you feel like you're exploring a whole planet, they're going to get even bigger and better.
You got it. World partition lets developers build these crazy, huge, and detailed worlds without the game, like, exploding. It's pretty nuts, technically speaking. It basically breaks the world down into these smaller chunks that can load in and out without you even noticing.
So no more waiting forever for things to load or like getting that dreaded low memory message.
Exactly. It's all about making the experience as smooth and immersive as possible. You want to explore at your own pace. Go for it. The game can keep up.
Okay, you've officially blown my mind with all this tech talk, but let's bring it back down to earth for a minute. All of this sounds incredible, but what does it actually mean for the average person sitting down with their controller, ready to get lost in a game?
It means games that look and feel better than anything we've seen before. We're talking deeper immersion, characters you can actually believe in, and worlds that feel truly alive.
So it's not just about like making things look pretty, it's about changing the whole gaming experience.
100%. We're talking about blurring those lines between what's real and what's not, those experiences that really stay with you.
You know, speaking of blurring the lines, we're seeing Unreal Engine pop up in some surprising places these days. I even heard they used it for some of the special effects in The Mandalorian, which is wild.
Yeah, it's true. They used it to build those virtual sets. It let them film in a much more controlled way, and the visuals they got were incredible.
That's amazing. So what's next? Where do we go from here? I mean, we've got ray tracing, making things look photorealistic. What else can they possibly do?
Well, the really cool thing is we're past those little upgrades,
Mm.
Unreal Engine's pushing for those big leaps now, like how things look, how we play games. One thing I think is going to be huge is cross-platform gaming.
Okay, yeah. Cross-platform is already here, but it always feels like you're making a sacrifice, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the game's gorgeous on my PC, but try playing it on my phone, forget it. It's like going back in time.
Exactly. And that's the thing, right? But what if you could jump between your devices without, like, any difference in how good it looks or plays?
Oh.
You start a quest on your console, pick it up on your phone during your commute, then you're in a raid with your friends on VR later, all in the same game world.
Now that is the dream. No more choosing between beauty and, actually playing on the go. I think Unreal Engine can really pull that off.
Honestly, I think it might. Unreal's got that flexibility. It can scale up or down, perfect for connecting all those experiences. Plus, with cloud gaming getting better all the time, those lines are already getting blurry.
So the future is like, my game library isn't stuck on one machine anymore. I can play whatever, wherever, same quality. Man, that changes everything.
It's not even just about convenience, so that's huge. It's like,
Yeah.
this opens up whole new types of games we haven't even thought of yet. Different ways to play, ways to connect with people. Think about games where people on different devices, different skills, all working together.
Okay, now I'm seriously hyped about the future. But before we get too far out there, let's talk about you listening right now. What are you most excited for? What kind of worlds do you want to see Unreal Engine bring to life?
Good question to ask. We can talk tech all day, but it's the devs, the players, their passion, that's what'll really shape things.
So true. Whether it's exploring space, fighting fantasy creatures in a world that feels real, or even just seeing our favorite stories in a new way, Unreal Engine is giving creators the tools to do it.
It's an exciting time to be a gamer, that's for sure.
No doubt. And on that note, we've come to the end of our deep dive into Unreal Engine. We've talked about the tech that's blowing everyone's minds, the games that are going to change everything, and just how much potential the future holds. It's been awesome having you with us.
Definitely always a blast to geek out about this stuff. And, hey, remember, the future of gaming, it's in all of our hands.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So get out there, keep exploring, keep pushing for more, and most importantly, keep on gaming.